Hello, I'm Dr. Eric Chong. So I will share with all of you my topic teaching global citizenship in higher education, social integration with ethnic varieties in Hong Kong. I come from the School of Education and Languages, Hong Kong Metropolitan University. So my presentation will discuss the experience of conducting a service learning project aiming at achieving social integration with ethnic minorities in Hong Kong. My collaboration with an international NGO and implement a small-scale service learning project to be delivered by a mixed cultural background of university students for 21 local Hong Kong Chinese students in 2023. Key concepts and skills include social integration, second language acquisition, cultural values, cross-cultural understanding, and service learning were adopted in this project. So last year, 27 university students planned and delivered 2 sessions of activities for those 21 local primary school students on topics related to exploring different cultures, food, languages, handicraft, lifestyle, custom, and traditional customs. The primary school students have to learn about this topic in English, which is a second language for them. Meanwhile, a 2-hour training on communication and problem-solving skill for Hong Kong Metropolitan University students were provided. The findings reveal that not just the primary school student can be benefit from the activities by the student, but the intergroup cultural exchange between the university students also contributes significantly to the mutual understanding and cooperation. It is recommended that service learning can be adopted not just for cross-age service learning participation, but also beneficial for cross-cultural understanding of a diversified service learning delivery group. Globalization has also influence education and various aspects of society. So globalization has prompted a shift in perspective towards nurturing citizens and achieving international success. Regarding school education, various ideology and policy of developed countries have been disseminated in many nations around the world, such as Hong Kong. Education focuses on training in Hong Kong students to succeed in a globalized world rather than merely academic excellence. Hong Kong has faced globalization because the education policy encourage students to develop English proficiency, which is considered as a global language. Globalization has increased the need for qualified English language teachers to cater for the linguistic requirements and communication needs. In the past, English language school teachers mainly focused on preparing students for exam, but nowadays they are expected to provide Hong Kong students with conversational skills needed as global citizens. Education officials also expect the teachers to transform Hong Kong students into active participants who will participate in the global economy and support the growth of the national Chinese economy. Importance for the individual to actively participate in global affairs can be found in global citizenship. This is according to UNESCO. And those who identify as global citizens demonstrate a profound commitment to principles such as justice, diversity, sustainable economic development, which uphold economic integrity, so that there will be a pursuit of harmonious and peaceful global community. Hong Kong education policymaker and practitioner also foster intercultural communication skills not only to enhance cross-cultural communication, but also to develop global citizenship among secondary school students. GCE has been incorporated into the Hong Kong school curriculum at different levels, with topics ranging from understanding knowledge to global concern. Global citizenship discourse highlight the values and skills necessary for students to acquire the intercultural competence, marketable skill for the international labor market. Well, in Hong Kong, the global citizenship and also the workforce, they should be regarded as efficiently engaged in the global economy, which attach great importance to bilingualism. Fluency in the local language and English is important. Nevertheless, Chinese and Western values can clash when it comes to advocating global citizenship in education. For example, traditional Chinese values prioritize family, community, whereas Western values emphasize individualism and competition. The education system must overcome this barrier and find a way to bridge the gaps between these two value systems. So this is a summary of this project. I collaborate with an international NGO that is YWCA to implement a small-scale service learning project to be delivered by my students from HKMU. They come from a diverse cultural background for those Hong Kong Chinese primary school students last year. Another one expected to be implemented in July this year. These students from Hong Kong MU they took an undergraduate course called Education Society in last summer. While those 21 local Hong Kong primary school students, aged about 10 to 12 years old, they were recruited by YWCA as part of the summer learning program. Informed consent has already sought. The parents have agreed to enroll their children in this project. Overall, the results shows that the young local Chinese primary school students were receptive to the cultural sharing session and multicultural activities conducted by the university students. In addition, the questionnaire result also revealed that the local Chinese primary school students benefit from the activities offered by my university students. My university students themselves benefit in terms of multicultural learning, mutual understanding, and cooperation through the intergroup cultural exchanges. Therefore, the service learning can be adopted as a part of service learning project for the development of cross-cultural understanding among diverse project participants. So this is the background. The service learning is a form of experiential education in which students engage in activities that meet human and community needs with structured opportunities to decide to promote in-student learning and development. By joining service learning programs, students can utilize their knowledge to design and prepare their own service learning plans. In the process, students can also increase their ability to internalize course material through practical application, deepen their understanding of professional knowledge, and develop the soft skill by analyzing information, finding solutions, evaluation, and reflecting upon their experience. Last year, the partnership between Student Affairs and also faculty members of my school, they were established to enhance student learning experience. Faculty member, that is me, design the course curriculum, leading academic activities, and also deliver classroom instruction, while the Student Affairs Office, they align with community partners and service recipients and coordinate organize experiential service learning experience for academic course. All those 7 participants from my courses, they will develop and also expect to develop a critical understanding of the education system from a sociological and economic perspective. And this goal, I also expect my students to participate in service learning experience to design and implement a social and integration and learning adjustment project for primary school students in Hong Kong. So this is the framework. Please take a look. The social integration as a kind of idea. Then through university and NGO collaboration, we adopt the service learning as one of the vehicle to deliver the service learning experience for the local Hong Kong primary school kids. And then we adopt evaluation as a mechanism to improve the practices and also to learn about how did the participant benefit from the project. So the background overall, of course, is a globalization where different cultures and different diversity background of people can come easily together, and then we can learn actually from each other. So according to some scholars, so the service learning, which is an important operation concept in this project, the experiential learning can enhance youth engagement. According to Johnson and Jordan, there are also some tips to organize undergraduate international experiential learning, which is about the skill focus and also the learnings about foreign languages proficiency. And there should be at least something like international internship or service learning practicum that include mini consultation project, presentation, and deliverable. And in Hong Kong, to meet student intercultural communication needs, various Hong Kong secondary school material contain, for example, the junior secondary life and society curriculum and the senior secondary liberal study textbook, but which has already been phased out. They contain some intercultural approaches to interact with different cultures and identities. And overall speaking, service learning in Hong Kong include extracurricular activities and out-of-class learning. NGO provides civil education for school through contracted services as a form or tutor periods or extracurricular activities, such as learning programs, outdoor visits, and also study tour to China. So the operating concept of service learning, which has much related to globalization. Globalization has exerted impact on higher education policy. The adoption of English as the main medium of instruction in higher education, which is a result of globalization. And also there is a need for more English language teachers. Universities in Hong Kong have made great efforts to strengthen their global competitiveness and adopt international standards. Hence, Hong Kong University have been tasked with developing student global skill through collaboration, study abroad programs, internship, and also global levels to establish exchange relations with Western and international institutions. So the ultimate aim is to develop a new generation of citizens who are aware of a variety of identities, competitive, adaptable, and flexible in their employment. The underlying concept is social integration. Integration in Hong Kong can be a tricky one because after the integration with China, not just the curriculum, but also there are the needs of education needs in kindergarten, school, and university. The problem for Hong Kong for social integration is that there are different ethnic backgrounds of students nowadays in Hong Kong, and there are multiplicity of EM students from different parts of the world who are living, working, and studying in Hong Kong. So they face different types of challenges and difficulties related to living. The increase in the number of ethnic minorities can be explained by the fact that they have children or by relocation of the families and relation to Hong Kong. So in addition to previous wave of migrants from mainland China, citizens of non-Chinese descent, they also came from India, Pakistan, Nepal, the Philippines, Indonesia, and Thailand, who have family roots in mainland China or Hong Kong, and they came to Hong Kong to live and work since the British colonial times. And according to some sources, they suggest that non-Chinese-speaking EM families, they are likely to send their children to government-funded and subsidized mainstream school because they are subsidized. And while few of them will send their children to international school, which are not subsidized by the government. So the increase in cultural and linguistic diversity in Hong Kong school due to the influx of immigrants and migrant workers present an additional challenge for Hong Kong teachers. Educators must now deal with the linguistic and cultural diversity of students, which may require new pedagogies and teaching methods. And despite being admitted to school in Hong Kong, ethnic minorities face discrimination based on their cultural background and equal rights. EM face great language barrier that prevent them from communication with local students, and unfortunately, sometimes they are negatively labeled as outsiders with alien cultures and customs. So the other social unrest in 2019, which was perceived as a lack of national identity, the government of Hong Kong made more efforts to improve the national education. However, nationalistic education creates ethnic conflicts because of the marginalization of EM groups. Cultural differences may exacerbate conflict as EM groups may defend their own interests and believe that see their own place in global society. Hong Kong national education reinforces Han Chinese values and belief that the EM may find it difficult to reflect as their own cultures may have different views. So how Hong Kong society can prepare for the inclusion of EM students? That's my question. And furthermore, students need to be involved in intercultural interaction to understand the important hidden values and beliefs in this world. So the Education Bureau, the government department responsible for school education, has introduced various measures to support the teaching and learning of non-Chinese speaking students and to create a more inclusive learning environment. First, in 2020, the EDB provides approximately 440 Hong Kong kindergarten with 8 or more NC students with an additional grant to expand the service. For example, there are more qualified teachers, teaching assistants for the in-class translation, plural learning, co-teaching, group learning, after-school consultation, and interpretive services. So let's link together service learning, social integration, and global citizenship, which is the idea in this project. As we can recall, globalization refers to the interconnectedness and interdependence in the world. So the growing interdependence of the world's economy, cultures, and people due to technology, cross-border trade, and other factors enable the movements of goods and information and people. Hong Kong education system has experienced 2 ways of reform, and the third way is underway in the era of globalization to equip future generation with the skills in the global society. So the primary goal of GCE to foster, respect, develop a sense of belonging and empowering learner. Citizenship education was one of the topics emphasized in the field of integrated humanities, alongside as culture, religion, local and global issues, and environmental protection. By analyzing global issues, students are exposed to the complex and formidable obstacles facing global communities. In terms of neoliberalism, Hong Kong citizenship education curriculum largely focus on the economic aspect or the global integration rather than the cultural and social phenomena. Well, however, we can see that globalization has actually increased the level of interconnectivity and communication and a stronger sense of globalized identity. And education about global citizenship can raise awareness around the world and expose students to controversial and serious issues in the world. And so GCE can instill values and competence that we can find in the local Hong Kong curriculum, like the thinking skill, communication and collaboration skill, and problem-solving skills. So this project has got four major ideas: the use of NGO to provide service learning for active citizenship, and also to cater for the issue of education disparity between the local Hong Kong and also the ethnic minorities studying in Hong Kong. And thirdly, higher income families in Hong Kong, they have better access to resources. I want to try to help out this problem by linking up different types of backgrounds of students studying in Hong Kong. And fourthly, globalization and its teaching allows schools to include students from different cultural backgrounds. So nowadays, when students grow up in culturally diverse society, they can encounter different worldviews, perspective, and lifestyle. So specifically last year, I arranged my students taking this course. They came from mainland Chinese, Hong Kong, Chinese, Philippines, Indian, Pakistan, Vietnamese. They plan and deliver 2 2-hour activities to local Hong Kong private school students on topics related to cultures, food, languages, crafts, lifestyle, custom, and traditional custom. The primary school students had to learn about this topic in English, and my Hong Kong MU students, they received a 2-hour training on communication and problem-solving skill beforehand. So stage one is that my students, they form together in the lessons and to plan the lessons activities for those Hong Kong private school students. The aim is to develop knowledge and preventive strategy to enable Hong Kong private school students to overcome learning adjustment in English medium. In particular, there will be diverse cultural background. And so the idea of multiculturalism is behind. And also it is related to race, socio-economic class, gender, language, culture, differences. The stage two, we can say, is a collaboration between the Student Affairs Office and also the Hong Kong MU. I incorporate the elements and group practice of service learning into academic course. So the implementation is that my students will divide into 6 groups to provide service on global citizenship. They use different shades of themselves and different cultural background and to provide cultural learning for Hong Kong students. So each group was responsible for 1 group sharing session and 1 activity for the primary school student. So there was 1 week interval to enable my student to reflect upon and improve the proposed activity. So each group, they will do part 1 and part 2, and take a look here. You can see that they can perform something like cultural teaching, vocabulary teaching on day 1, and then food culture on day 2. Day 2, they will introduce some specific cultures activities for those primary school kids, and there would also other topics like green lifestyle, different cultures, vocabulary, and also ethnic custom and also traditional costume. So the overall speaking, the evaluation is that the primary school, they learn students, they learn about specific forms of English and also different cultures. My students, they had the opportunity to practice and teach in English language. So we employ quantitative and qualitative method to measure the effectiveness. My university students, they were given quantitative evaluation right after the end of this project. For those private school students, by taking into account of the time and the age, they were just given qualitative evaluation of the drawing. So I adopt the 5-point Likert scale and allow my student to complete this questionnaire. So the table following will show the effectiveness of the project. The skills like the soft skill and key competence of my students, they were fine after this project. And so the in Hong Kong context, actually leadership, communication, relational, collaborative, thinking, and planning and implementation skills, they are emphasized. So this is the result before and after and the change. And so there will be the usually common regards and important skills in terms of Hong Kong university education. So you can see that before and after there are some positive change. But of course, the critical thinking is a dimension number 5 here. Let's look at here. I would like to spend more efforts later on. And for the university students, they also agree that the program was useful, the structure was well organized, the activities will help them to achieve the intended learning outcomes, and then the program effectively integrate community service with academic understanding. So the results of quantitative evaluation with my students, they are largely positive one, but then what do they mean by evaluation of critical thinking require more effort. The intense exchange of knowledge between students and university students contributing to their personal development, and primary school students were asked to draw a picture. So let's take a look here. The primary school students, they write something like they learn about the culture, they learn about green living, they learn about Hindu and Tagalog, they learn about other cultures and breakfast tea. And for those primary school students, what was the most interesting thing? They learned something about the mini lantern, and also making the lantern is an interesting exercise. They love eating and drinking, and of course they also learn a lot of eating from other cultures too. And for my university students, they mostly relate to their teaching. They have a chance to practice and teach students. They also experience more knowledge and how to design and prepare materials in this activity. So they also learn about how to turn students into global citizens. And so they have got some valuable teaching chances. So they appreciate that this learning project gave them ideas on how to design cultural activities. And it is a good experience for them to develop themselves. And also it's a kind of skill as a teacher. So suggestion and conclusion: education policy makers should review and formulate policy, and also develop integration in terms of multicultural education. In the cultural context of Hong Kong, the theory of transcultural adaptation emphasizes the importance of acquiring communication skill in a second language setting. Learning about other cultures in second language should be continuously encouraged. By participating in genuine communication exercise, students manage linguistic and cultural barriers, acquire a new language skill, and cultivate intercultural understanding. So finally, partnership with NGO for experiential learning, according to my previous publication, should be encouraged. And schools wishing to develop student global identities should participate in some kind of citizens program. And finally, service learning can be further extended into teacher education curriculum. So from the version, we can see much benefit can be attained by students who are majoring in English language and educated to perform service learning experience. So these are my references, and you can have a look on them, and also you're welcome to raise any question. So thank you very much.